reason I made this title was really because my personal experience with this scenario when I was kind of in stagnation and not really accepting being called and not really embodying what it meant to be chosen. All my life, I've constantly broke statistics and overcome preconceived things that I should be experiencing, whether it's sports, whether it's academics, whether it's financials. It's like I've always been above the average. But with this, it's been fleeting because I never instilled within myself the fortitude to pretty much keep it and pretty much not just flex it or not just think it comes easy and not really build that consistent discipline and consistency. And that's one thing that I've realized that is going to take me to the next level at this point. I've been able to amass this amount of success without it or with it in short periods, but now thinking long term with it, thinking months, years, and decades with it, this is what's going to take me from being above average to being extraordinary and exceptional. And the first thing I touch on is through this process of success, you're going to have envy. People are going to not like you because you represent all the inadequacies they have, and that's okay. You got to get to a point where that doesn't really bother you or affect you, and that is a key indication that you are on the right path. Because if you don't have any haters, people don't really despise you in any way, shape, or form, that means you're conforming to what they want. And through that, like, no conforming to what people want you to be, because what they want you to be is below them, beneath them. So when you start elevating, you realize a lot of your friends start fading away. And it's a strange concept, but that's just the way of life. Next topic I'll talk on is you're gonna face trials and tribulations. It's not gonna be an easy path. You're gonna get knocked down and have to start all over again, like from the bottom, start all over again in many aspects. So it's like, do you have to fight to keep getting back up and keep getting after it? Like, it's an everyday thing. It's like you gotta grind through the grind, and it's literally an everyday thing. You may have really good days, have a lot of consistency. You could have stacked a lot of days, and then a scenario happens where there's no construction, so ignore that. Scenario happens where health or resources are limited, so you gotta find a way to adjust, find a way to just keep stacking those days out of the norm. And this is a process, and pretty much one time process gets instilled is when you pretty much had enough. You had enough of the mediocrity. You've had enough of fleeting success, and you say, today marks the day that it's like, I'm gonna make sure I get what I want out of this life, and no one's gonna stop me because it's that burning desire. And once you understand that, it makes everything so much more easier. And in order to kind of instill this within yourself, you gotta go through some type of butterfly effect. And this ties to when a butterfly is created. At first starts off as a cocoon, caterpillar, gets on a branch, and shelters itself off from the outside world. And pretty much locks in, focus on, man, I gotta grind because I gotta make sure I turn into a butterfly in however many months or weeks. So it's like, that's the process that has to happen. And that's the process I'm currently in, because it's like, I'm not really hanging out with people that I usually do, finish university, have a kind of a waiting period before I get my next assignment in terms of what I'm doing next in life. And through that, it's like, man, I get to recreate myself from bottom up, really. And this is the little moments in life. You only have few of these moments where you get to really transform. And I'm interested in being a 2.0 version of myself, because there's not too many things that I struggle with, but there's things that I need to polish up, things I need to lock in on more. And I'm using this phase to kind of do that. So I'll kind of like shed it away, anything that's not helping me, thinking more long term, really having more clarity, more focus. So anything that I pulled away from that, I cut it out. I mean, it wasn't easy. You cut off relationships, cut off friendships, cut off things that grew custom to me, grew like a norm to me. So it definitely was a difficult process, and I'm on the tail end of it where I'm kind of establishing exactly who I'm gonna be. And that's just something that is very powerful that I suggest every person do. In any situation where you can find yourself in a moment like that, you can create yourself. You say, man, it's like, for the next week, I'm not going out. It's just me. It's just me. I'm gonna focus on what I want to get out of this life, because this life gonna keep going on. Are you gonna keep taking it day by day, or are you gonna have a plan and get after it? And through this plan, you're gonna have trial and error, And this is when you make your adjustments. This is when you plan for the trial and error. So you say, man, I want to hit this goal. These are the steps to get there. Boom, something happens. If something happens out of my control, I'm going to make sure I still get partial work done so that I'm not missing a day. You gotta be able to adjust at all times. Just adjust and attack, adjust and attack. And once you have these processes in place, you're gonna start getting some traction. And once the traction comes, this one is like, you can't let up. It's so easy to let up. Traction phase. So easy to think you have arrived because you've seen the results of the last 90 days of hard work you put in. But this is when most people die really, because it's like this is when the temptation comes, this is when the money comes, this is when the women come, this is when the invitations to parties come, and people say, yeah, I've been working hard for a little bit, I deserve this. But no, you don't, because the job's not done yet. The job's not done yet. Like I remember I had this dream where it was kind of like analogy of accomplishing like a big goal. You get to do the victory lap, and the thing about the victory lap is that it has to be a short ride, because when you're cruising, cheesing, smiling, bottles popping, not working really. So you're pretty much taking a break. And taking a break just didn't get you to where you were. So it was kind of like that victory lap is so sweet, but you gotta make sure it's a short ride. Because it's like a lot of people are still celebrating from things they did years ago. Why? Things they did months ago. Why? So that's the thing about it. The victory lap, yay, pat yourself in the back, you accomplished your goal, but right back to it. Right back to it. Like in football, we had a thing called the 24-hour rule. You know, after every win, you know, that 24 hours to celebrate it and have a good time, because wins don't come easy in the football world, especially at the D1 level. So you really got to celebrate those wins. But after that, you get back locked in. What's the next game? What's your scheme? What are the star players? What defense we gonna run? What tactics are we gonna use? So it's like you gotta embody that in our personal life, so we can have a good day, a good week, a good month, and we can treat ourselves. It's not. I'm not saying you gotta be locked in 100% of the time. You can treat yourself, but it's like don't live in that treat for so much, because that's not sustainable food. You know, we're meant to eat real food around here. We're not meant to be eating cakes and pastries and wine and all that stuff. It's like you can dibble and dabble, but it's like you gotta keep the main thing. And with this, is like I've realized the more I have systems and processes, the less thinking I gotta do, so less talking myself out I can do. Like just imagine you set yourself up and set your week up. It's like, okay, Monday I got a gym session at 7 a.m. with my trainer. At 12 p.m. I got a massage already booked, so I gotta make sure I hydrate. I gotta make sure I stretch and everything. I make sure I get this work done before 12 p.m. because it's like I gotta be at that appointment at 12 p.m. Then boom, I got a call at 2 p.m. Okay, I gotta finish the massage. I only got an hour 30 until I gotta hop out, get in the car so I can take this call. And then boom, guess what? I got dinner reservation with the client at 5 p.m. Okay, I gotta make sure I get all these things done before 5 p.m. so I can be there and account for traffic. So it's like you're playing like a game pretty much, rather than screwing off the free time you have. So it's like that free time not really free. You just got to just implant some purpose and intent behind that time. Once you do that, watch how things keep building, and people are gonna come and ask you for it. It's like, hey, like, you've accomplished so many things and you make it look so effortlessly. Like, how do you get it done? Just hard work. Just hard work. That's all it is. Just like they're looking for the shortcut, but that's the answer. Just hard work. Because I used to be that person asking people who successful, have multiple properties. Remember, I visited somebody. I went to his house. It's a private residence, and I had to go through 3 gated sections to get to his house. There was the first gate, gated community, boom. Drive a little bit more for like 5 minutes. Second gate, oh damn, like he in there for real, like wow. 2 private gates, crazy. Drive a little bit more. Third private gate, yeah, I got so and so here. All right, send him in. All right, boom. Finally get to his house. 3 private gates? What? You don't even hear about shit like that in America. Like, you don't really hear about all those things. So I'll say this is like, it's very important to get to a point where you can systemize everything, because once you do that, everything's gonna keep stacking and keep building. So that's all I have for today. Keep it short, keep it sweet. But another talk. Many are called, but few are chosen. Make sure you instill that within yourself, and I hope you're taking notes, because this is really good knowledge. So the faster you can implement this thing in your life, the more success you're gonna have. But it's like it's almost like some type of entity inside of us that doesn't want us to be great. So we gotta kill that mediocrity inside of us. And the way we do that is like you gotta be so consistent that it just becomes a part of you. It just becomes who you are. So it's like all that chilling stuff, all that you're getting easy stuff, all that scrolling stuff. Why do you think they force feeding us content? Curating exactly what we want to see, exactly what we want to see. Like they done hacked our brains, like because they want us in a constant state of let me kick it, let me scroll. Oh yeah, let me drink some soda, let me eat some pizza. So then my brain can't work because you gotta understand everything tied together. So it's like I don't really eat until past 12 most days, and that's not even trying to make it seem like oh like you have so much yada yada, but it's really because like your brain works so much more efficiently because you're really not that hungry. Like I done fasted for multiple days and it wasn't a problem. So like you gotta realize like food isn't really as necessary as we think it is, and most of the food that you're eating is processed foods, and all those chemicals do is kind of make yourself feel like you need food even more. I realize when I'm eating like a clean whole food diet, I really don't have any really hunger cravings. Really, I can really go for a while without having the urge to eat. As soon as I eat that little frozen pizza, that little government cheese, that little artificial bread, I'm like, damn, I wake up the next day, I'm like, ooh, I'm so hungry. You know, I'm like, I don't listen to it. I'm like, I know it's a trick. So it get to a point where you're eating single ingredient foods and ingredients and spices. Like I try to get everything as single source or single ingredients possible. When I'm seasoning my foods, I have like different seasonings that it's just like, oh, this is just black pepper. This is just salt. This is just garlic powder. So I don't take it to that level because a lot of the seasonings I realize have a bunch of bad oils and decaking agents in them. So it's like, really think about what you're putting inside your body. And that'll be the topic of my next video because I really from the cheat code to all these things. I really curated my whole diet and everything. So love y'all boys. Stay tuned for the next video. Peace out.